Hello. I thought it was finally time to do a play test on a box set I bought for a couple of dollars 6 months ago. Deutsche Grammophon Gesellschaft, Beethoven #9 Symphony and Symphony #8, Berliner Philharmoniker, Herbert von Karajan, and this is the Grand Prix du Disque Paris sticker. But I thought it was a French pressing, but I'll show them that too. It's a wonderful picture of my first hero in classical music. Still is, sort of. Von Karajan himself. I've been watching a shitload of classical music videos lately, mainly because of Stuart at LP Classical in the UK. He's a bit like me. He's a bit of a masochist, I think, buying old vinyl hoping it's going to sound magnificent. It never is. It's very, very rare. Maybe if I had some mint living stereos from the late 50s, early 60s. I think I got one living stereo record here, but it's just a rubbish record, so I don't listen to it. But if it was a classical, I'd count myself lucky. So also 1770 channel, a young bloke in it's Ben Rankin's fault. I was about to say in Canada. I mean Canuckia. I don't mean that either. What was I going to say? Canada. And it's 1770 channel. And he only made about half a dozen videos a couple of years ago, and they're excellent. It's all classical, bar one, where he does he's got a hot cut Led Zeppelin 2, and he compared it to a Canadian pressing. And they came out pretty well equal. I mean, those hot cut Led Zeps go for thousands, so he scored well there with the Canadian. If anyone can find the Canadian pressing, apparently it's just as good almost. I really trust that young bloke. He's very good, and but I watched one today in particular where he was going on about Deutsche Grammophon, and I buy them because I quite often like the covers. I love the yellow banner and the tulips. This is an early 60s. With the tulips, 64. With the DP initial, it means pressed in Germany, not France, not Francais. I don't know why it's got that French sticker on the front, but it's made in Germany. There you go. And these are supposed to be the absolute creme de la creme of Deutsche Grammophon. He rated living stereos 10 out of 10, and then he came up with the best he could come up with for Deutsche Grammophon was a 7 out of 10. Now, I played a bit of this, a bit of crackling at the start, but this has got it's got a few very, very light hairline scratches, but they're not scratches, they're scuffs. I think someone's tried to clean this. This could be what the problem is. There's some sort of residue on it. So I might actually clean this with what's left of my revirginizer, because it's a very good version of this. It's von Karajan and the Berlin harmonica, so it's good. But it looks like someone's might have tried to clean it, but and there's a pop. One of those ones where it sticks, pop, 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 and I can see it now. It's a nasty little, barely visible. I think it's a bit of gunk actually, because yes, it is. So that'll come off. So which will be good. I'll play it again after I clean it, whenever I do it, and see what the difference is. But The DP means it's Deutsche Grammophon printed in Germany. So that young fellow would rate this as a 7 if it didn't have the pop and the bit of crackle at the start. But I stand by my word. I buy Deutsche Grammophon because I just can't resist them. They cost $1 or $2, so what? But I've always felt they've got a thin sound. It's just thin. That's all I can say. So, yeah, I've been obsessing on it. I'm an obsessive, OCD, obsessive compulsive. That's me. So that's a bit disappointing in that I was expecting high hopes on this because it's the German press. But the weight, feel the weight. So I will clean that because I can actually see where it's sticking. It's a great performance, but you can understand why. CDs, albums were invented, and 33 and a third RPM was invented for classical music because, you know, the ordinary people had wind-up 78 players and it was all hillbilly music and just garbage, sort of, you know, just junk basically. And 33 and a third RPM records were invented for jazz and classical, you know, for adults, for people with money and tastes. So, but the downfall of vinyl, of course, is it doesn't take much to ruin them. So, I'm not you know, I don't get upset about these things. It's all right, you know, I can sort of just block it out. And if it is a little bit crackly and you can't be bothered cleaning it, I just go in the kitchen or in the bedroom and it sounds good and I can't hear any of that interference. So, but I will clean that just out of interest now. And poor old Stuart, he's been buying on eBay, you know, like £1 each. He gets 18 records for 18 quid or something, and every one of them's got problems. And I just thought, mate, it's verging on masochism. I mean, I buy these for a couple of bucks, if that. I always look at them if they got big scratches or they're filthy. I just don't buy them. Simple. But this one, I thought, wow, this is a good bet. But sure enough, you whack it on, there's the old crackle at the start, and you go, oh, here we go. And that's why I never buy piano, you know, pieces without any other noise except the piano, because if there's any distortion or any muck on the record, it's totally unlistenable. But symphonies, you can get away with it. Opera to a large extent. Not that I'm a huge opera fan, but I do like bits of it. But I just had to post this one just so that if anyone else is, you know, into the classical, it's like, you know, if you don't feel like you're hard done by, I just think Deutsche Grammophon are overrated. That's all. Simple as that. And, you know, CDs, if you want to hear classical without, you know, all that bullshit, just get a CD for $1 or $2. And preferably not, well, you know, I don't put down digital recording. I've got some CDs here that are excellent classical digital recordings, and no problem. But, you know, both formats have their drawbacks. So, it's a world of masochistic delight, isn't it? The collecting of records. Anyway, this has gone on too long. Okay, catch you. Bye now.